Finch knife. You know I like them Finches. I am a fan of the Finch. Fan of the Finch. FOF. FOTF, I guess. This is a Reciprocity. Title black and blue resin, 154 cm satin. Okay. The Reciprocity. Pretty patriotic looking little logo right there. Lifetime warranty. They all come with a Band-Aid. I guess you play with sharp things, you're going to cut yourself. If you're going to play with sharp objects, you're going to get cut. Yeah, look at this scale material. What do they call that? Blue resin? They had a name for it. Just black and blue resin. Title, that's what it is. Pretty fancy schmancy looking. Titanium pocket clip, stainless scales with these resin inserts on top of the stainless. Let's look at this blade. Wow. Okay. Well, let's remove the distractions. Look at this blade, man. Stonewashed on the main grind, and then satin hand finish on the blade itself, on the flats, and on the flats of the scale. It's got a nail nick on there. I didn't notice that. I wonder if that could be, 100%. Watch. Yep. Spidey flick. Thumb flick. Thumb flick's a little awkward just because of the way I hold the knife. Got to kind of reach way back for it, but it definitely works and it's snappy. Yeah. Nice drop shut action. Back flipper solid. Yeah, that nail nick, I don't know, is it a nail nick or a fuller? I'm not sure what designates a cutout as a fuller versus a nail nick, right? I'm not sure what the cutoff line is. Solid as a rock. Lock up on it. 40%. Pretty cool. Yeah. It's what I come to expect from a Finch for sure. Standard little greatness in a small package. Very cool. Well, let's get it apart. Let's not hang around and let's not tarry. Tarry. That's not a word you use a lot, is it? Tarry along the way. Is that like mosyander or meander? I wonder if that's the same. Meander and tarry. I don't know. Come on, man. One of y'all know. Like, lay it on me. Lay it on us. What's that old saying? Inquiry minds want to know. I should give it up right there. Should give up the ghost. Yep. Ooh, there was a lot of tension on that. I'm going to look at it. There was so much. I am going to check it. Which means I got to put that pivot screw back in there. Now, it does kind of beg the question, if it's running well, why would I bother it? Yeah, I can't fail it. I just want to see where it's at. So yeah, about just shy of 50% on that, on the frame lock, the liner lock, the frame lock. I don't know. 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Yeah, so when it locks up in the open position, it's right there. So, I mean, there's a tiny little bit of room, and this scale should come off. I say that. There's got to be a screw underneath that scale. It's got some rubber cement on it. It's not the first one. We've done a couple that had rubber cement on them. Yeah, this barrel spacer is not captured by a screw or anything. It's just squeezed in there. I am going to take just the tiniest little bit. That's too much. Let's try that. All right. Got bearings and pivots. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. Let's just wipe it down. I think I'm going to squirt a little cleaner. Not a lot, just a little damp cleanerish stuff. So y'all be proud of me. I did the deal today, the dirty deed, and I picked up my better half a new set of wheels. And of course, it kind of goes like that, man. It does the same thing collecting knives. Like, I'm frugal and discerning, doing my research and really looking for the best price and, the best service that, just really picking things apart. And then in the end, I was so over it that I found a good car. I was like, yeah, I'm buying it. I tried to leave the dealership without the car. I set a price point. I said, well, if I can get it for this, I'm going to get it. Well, then I went and drove the car, and it was stunning. Yeah, it was just wonderful. It's a used car with 15,000 miles, and you would expect it to represent like a new one, and it did not disappoint me, man. So I really wanted the car because it was at a great price. Um, and this car checked a lot of boxes, man. But we couldn't get right to the price. We were $1,000 apart. And I said, well, I got another car I'm going to go look at. I mean, if things don't work out, maybe I'll come back. And, the sales manager was like, yeah, I mean, if you want to try to, get closer to this number, I mean, as long as we have the car, man, I'll continue to work with you, see if we can't get the deal done. And I was like, well, cool, I appreciate that. Because, sometimes people take things personal and it just shuts down opportunity, because it's like, well, you're not going to buy it now. And then, hurt feelings or butt hurt takes over and you can't communicate no more. But the sales manager was wonderful. My sales guy was a cool dude. Been selling for, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. And so pleasant conversations, direct to the point, very helpful. Anyways, so I walked over that $1,000 and said, yeah, I mean, I got another car I'm going to go look at. If things don't work, maybe I'll get a hold of you. I'm going to try to put a little tension on this pocket clip. Oh, yeah. Yep, I'm able to manipulate that instantly. So that's ready to go. I want to put a little dab where that detent ball runs. And I may have to get in here and add some detent back to that frame lock. I may have to. Why is that not going on there? Oh, there it did. But I'm prepared to do that if I have to. So, don't want to leave the story unfinished, but I left there to go to another dealership, and as I'm driving, like 5 minutes later, I'm thinking, man, were $1,000 apart, and I really like that car. I just need to see if we can get closer. So I called as I'm driving, said, "Hey man, um, to me it appears we're close, and so I hate to shut it down if we think we can get there." And I said, "You know, I was at this number. I felt like you would go to this number, and so if you'll meet me in the middle and swing it my way by $100, I'll come back and get that car from you." And so he said, "Well, I can't swing it your way. And to be honest, I'm taking a loss on a car." Yeah, right. But I'll split it with you. And so I ended up spending $500 more on well over 20 grand than I wanted to. But I could stop looking for cars and be done. So was that $500 worth it? Yeah, absolutely, it was worth it. Especially since um, my wife come up there to get her car, and she just absolutely loved it. And so, hey, I didn't go out to buy her a car. She sent me. She don't want no part of it, and she's like, "Yeah, I like this one, and this one." And so I said, "Okay, I'm gonna go work on this one." So yeah, I don't. I learned that lesson, man. I picked a car for her one Christmas, and she was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And like less than 2 weeks later, she's like, "Hey, honey, I hate that car. It was a minivan." She goes, "I hate that minivan. I ain't no minivan mom." And so I was like, "Well, what do you want me to do?" She said, "Well, I don't know, but I hate it." And so I was like, "Oh man." So I took a bath in it. I lost like $3,000 on it. And I got her a Suburban, got her out of the minivan, and she was happy. A big Suburban. I don't know what it is with little women and big trucks, right? Or is it dudes with little and overcompensating with a big truck? I don't know. What do I know? Let me see if I can fail this now. Yeah, absolutely not. So I took a little bit off that detent, but it's running really really well now, and I'm going to grade this action. This may have some of the best action of a Finch knife that I've had, and I've had some really nice action. Um, I'm going to say it's definitely A level and leaning towards A plus. It is really really good, so smooth. And there's really nothing special about it. You saw it. It's just standard cage bearings. They just, man, these things are tuned so well and just function. Yeah, so I'm gonna call it A level action. I'm gonna get it right up there towards the A plus, man, which is completely perfect, right? Well, this thing works, man. Let's talk about this ergonomics. So I can get behind this flipper tab back here and still get four fingers on it, just barely. But I can do it. The jimping on the spine, it's like combat stuff, man. You press into that and press forward, you're locked in. So not so confident, confident, very confident. I mean, this thing goes over a confident grip and starts headed towards very confident because I am really on lockdown here. The reverse grip, this curls away from the thumb, so really comfortable, and I can get my fingers behind that finger guard. Yeah, so this works. Now, me, I'd rather be here going this way than here going this way. And I can get in here. My palm is slightly exposed. I can't get my thumb up and over the top of that. So this is a good confident grip, and it's definitely doable. Like this is dug in enough that I think I can go forward with this with relative strength. You know, I can lay this down if I have to. Um, yeah, pretty good ergonomics. Let's check the pocket clip. I think it's going to be fine. Seems like standard uh, Finch knife pocket clip. Yeah, it runs wonderful down the deep stuff. The little blue anodized sticking out looks good, and it's got wonderful retention. Yeah, it's like definitely, I don't know, F5 dryer type tension. You know, go roll around on the ground if and then reach back for this knife. It's going to be right where I left it. It's got excellent tension, which of course it rhymes with pension and retention, and that's what it does. Yeah, it provides retention in the pocket for the knife. Yeah, wonderful. Pocket clip did a great job. And safety. See if we can touch that sharp parts. Yeah, none through the scales, and then the tip is finally recessed behind this hump here, this point. So the tip is awesome. The clip is awesome. The tip is good, and I can handle this knife any old way I want. I don't risk cutting myself as long as the blade's closed. And the detent on the closed side, very strong. Just sucks the knife right in there. Yeah, wonderful. I already checked the lock. Lock's good. Let's see if that 154 lives up to a Finch sharpening. I mean, woo! I'm going to strop it real quick though. We're going to do the easy strop. We're going to get it on the work sharp and just do a couple of passes at, I believe the strop is set up at 20 degrees. This should be the second last pass. I'm not trying to reprofile that edge. I'm just trying to knock off any hanging chads or debris, whatever. I'm going to check that edge one more time. It most definitely had some burrs, and but not no more. The thing is running wonderfully. Yep, and I'm able to stay on the bevel really easy with that work sharp, which that way I don't ghost up this stonewash here. Yep. Which maybe people want to ghost it up. Not me though. Yeah, wonderful. Can choke up on this knife. It's got a platform here that digs right into the jimping. Pretty nice. Then the jimping on the spine. Wonderful grip choked up here. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, where are we at? Price and availability. How much can we still find these? Okay, so one of my favorite retailers, White Mountain Knives, has Reciprocity, brand new, a Finch Reciprocity for $145. Now, use the DM10 code. It not only works at Timber's Edge, but that's my code for y'all over at White Mountain Knives as well, DM10. But if you use that over there, gets this knife down to about $130 over at White Mountain Knives. Yeah, pretty cool. The Finch Reciprocity. Yep, very nice. Man, I'm just Finches are taking up space now. I just got to find them all. Appreciate y'all watching.